everyone, welcome back to OmniTrace, the People Search Experts. My name is Erin and I'm an investigator here. And today I'm going to provide you guys with some useful information. Before we get started though, please remember that you can check out our website at www.omnitrace.com or call our toll-free number 888-965-6696. So basically our goal for these videos is just to provide you guys with useful information on your quest to locate biological family members, friends, absentee fathers, or basically just anybody that you're searching for. We've been in business since about 2001 and we've had thousands of successful cases. So we really just want to be able to share that knowledge that we've gained over these years with you guys. So today's topic is what we cannot do. So TVs and movies have really just gave this false sense of what PIs do every day. And while there is some truth to some of it, there are a lot of things that are portrayed in television movies that are not something that we do. So I really just want to give you guys more of a realistic expectation of what you can expect when you hire a PI or hire us specifically. I get a lot of, well, why can't you just check their financial records? Why can't you just track their phone? Why can't you use face recognition to find out where they are in the world? There's a lot of them, so I just made a list of a few that I want to share with you guys. So the first myth I really want to bust for you guys is facial recognition databases and software. Yes, that technology exists. No, we do not use it. Mostly because law enforcement really are the only ones who really have access to a comprehensive database of faces that come from like driver's licenses and passport photos and things like that to really effectively use those data points efficiently. The other thing is it's not really ideal for research because any commercial facial recognition software or database, they typically cost like tens of thousands of dollars and they're not as effective and efficient, especially for research. You can drop a Google image into Google and see where else that image comes up, but it's only that image. It doesn't really recognize other pictures with that face from that image. So we don't really use any facial recognition databases, and what kind of goes hand in hand with that is like age progression. We don't really use that type of software or database either. All right, our next one is cell phones, or any phones really. We're not tracking cell phones, we're not tapping into them, getting information from them. Even law enforcement would need a court order or warrant really to have access to do that. Service providers don't just give out that information or allow you to do that. The other thing is where we get phone numbers from, they don't come from service providers. So they come from a bunch of different resources compiled with your information. For example, I've changed my phone number about 4 times in my lifetime and all those numbers still come up with my information. So until you call them, you're not going to know which one belongs to me. And on top of that, my first phone was under, my dad's plan, so it didn't even come up with my information. So yeah, phone numbers don't come from service providers. They come from a bunch of different, data points and information compiled in a database. And we do not track cell phones and we do not tap into cell phones. Before we continue, if you like these videos, please hit the thumbs up. And if you're watching this on Facebook, please like our page. Let us know how we're doing. And if you have any questions or concerns relating topics or just really anything in general, you can reach us directly at customercare@omnitrace.com. All right, so for what else we cannot do, we cannot hack into things. We abide by all state and federal laws. We're not hacking into people's financial records, their phones, breaking into people's houses to look for things. We're not going, to courthouses and getting records that we're not supposed to be getting. There are ways to work around certain laws without breaking them, and that I'll kind of touch base on in another video, how we can still locate people you're looking for without breaking the law and without, getting and steal records that you're not supposed to have access to. Okay, so our last talking point for this topic, there's not one magical database that just stores everybody's information about them ever. So I love crime and investigation television as much as the next person, but the way they depict these tech analysts' ability to just type in a couple of words in 5 minutes, their dog's name, how many siblings they have, their parents' names, where they were born, what elementary school they went to, names of all of their best friends throughout their life, that's just a colossal misrepresentation of how these searches are actually conducted and how quickly that they go. So I want to give you guys an example. So there's many factors that can determine success of a case, and search engines like Google or those ones you pay, $5 or $10 for, they don't really evaluate all the information, and a lot of the information it gives you, they're either false hits or it's dated information. Every once in a while I get lucky and get something that's right, but a lot of the time it's just bad information. So it's really important to cross-reference all the information you get and have a trained investigator kind of analyze it and make sure everything's right. So I like to use the analogy of Sudoku. So doing a search is kind of like a Sudoku puzzle. You really just focus on one box and one line at a time and look at that information, and then as you develop information, it kind of builds on top of each other. So I made a little mock search for you guys. Okay, so say a client is looking for Kathy Williams. So you knew her in high school in about 1973. She was a senior and she was living in Orlando, Florida. Most seniors are about 17 to 18 when they graduate. So let's say she was born about 1955. So that would put her age today around 64 years old. So I want to go over some variables that you would need to consider when searching for this Kathy Williams, who's 64 years old, who used to live in Orlando, Florida. So was Kathy short for Catherine or Kathleen? Was it spelled with a C? Was it spelled with a K? These are all factors that you need to know when doing these searches. Was she from Florida originally or from a different state? Maybe she was married, a couple years after high school, and she can't be found under her maiden name in databases anymore. If she was married and she moved to a different state, well, now you have to search on a broader scale. Maybe she's not traceable to Orlando, Florida under Kathy Williams anymore, so you're just looking for Kathy about 64 years old, and there will be thousands. So all these factors are, something that you need to consider when searching, and those search engines, they won't consider those factors, which is why you need an investigator to kind of analyze it and go through the steps to develop that information. So we'll start with one database and see what information comes from there. If we can't find anything, we'll have to go to historical records, marriage records, birth records, and there's a lot of different things you have to check. So there are a lot of variables that go into the search that a search engine just won't be able to do for you. That's it for today. Remember, if you want to check us out, you can go to our website, www.omnitrace.com, or if you have any questions, you can call us at 888-965-6696, and keep an eye out for our next edition. Thanks, everyone. All right, this is Vicky, our receptionist. Say hello to our beautiful, lovely lady.
Hi, beautiful.
This is the beautiful voice you hear answering our phone all the time.